Welcome, 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 my lovelies. Welcome back. So happy to be speaking to you again. Although I just finished and uploaded last night's video. I know this will be some time from now, but this is the next morning, and I'm back in the workshop filming for you guys again. And I missed you. What can I say? Sometimes I can't sleep at night because I'm thinking about what I'm going to show you on the next video. It's mad, but there we go. A bit of madness does help. Cheers. Life is better with a ginger cat. In our case, this is very true. I forget. I had some lovely comments from my the part 2 of this video. This is now part 3. Welcome everybody to part 3 of the Commission House, the Victoria House. Yes, I had some lovely comments, and I do want to say hello to Carol. I know you're watching. Carol Whittlesey. You comment a lot and you're very nice and very kind, and I just wanted to say a little hello to you especially. Also, let me put my glasses on. I did have a comment a little while back and I had to write it down because it was hysterical, and I'm just going to, it's just a small comment, but I'm just going to read it to you because the comments are on my phone, which is what I'm filming on, and I can't see those while I'm filming. So this is a comment from somebody, a viewer called David. If you're watching, David, by the way, howdy do. But you had written a comment, and it's to do with when I talk about my videos and my houses that I do. The people that inhabit them come to me in the night. Sometimes they're very agreeable with what they chat about. Sometimes they're a pain in the neck, and what have you. Anyway, David wrote that he'd recently started on a log cabin, a room box, just a one-room log cabin, which sounds, every time I think of somebody doing something else, I want that. I want to do that as well. It's ridiculous. He did loads of research about it, and it was really good fun. He really enjoyed it, and he'd mentioned that he was having the same problem with the owners coming to him at night and jabbering on away at him. But well, was trying to say this without laughing. But his problem is that the family that live in the log cabin are from Sweden. And he doesn't know any Swedish, and they don't speak English at all. And you thought I was crazy. Do you know, when I got the actual message, I was hysterical. We were watching television and I was sneakily looking at my comments because that was more interesting. And I read yours, David, and I was near to tears. And John Boy was watching. In the end, he had to pause the television because he was annoyed. And he says, what are you laughing at? And I had to read it to him. But he did get the joke. He thought that was really quite funny as well. So, yeah, so I actually, at the moment, I'm lucky because Amelie, as you all know, if you follow me, that have has the French haberdashery and the living accommodation in Paris. She speaks perfect English. I speak hardly any French, so that's quite lucky there, David. Because if she didn't speak English, then I wouldn't know what I was doing with our house. In saying that, the commission house that I'm doing, these are easier in that aspect that I don't know personally the owners. They don't come to me. I've heard that it's mum and dad. I've heard that there's a child in there, maybe children or a child. I can't remember offhand. So this is the client's family moving into her house. A house that she's had for 20 years, and I am now doing it up for her, designing it inside, outside. So in saying that, when I do take on a customer, writes to me, emails to me, if you're interested, I'll put my email link or my email in the description box below. and you can email me if you're interested in having a house done in the UK, because it would be an awful lot to ship abroad. But this is the lovely book that I've had for a while, and I use this for each customer. So I write down the name of the person, it's their house, and then I might do little designs and things where the rooms are, name the rooms. I speak to the customer, we talk and chat, and then I go through, write down each room and what I'm doing in that exact room, everything that I'm doing, and we just go from room to room. And then I just work from the bottom of the house up, obviously. I'm saying obviously because if I'm putting lighting in the rooms down below, then I'll be running the wires on the floor above, and you can't do that once you've carpeted or floored the walls above. Yes, I've had lots and lots of very nice comments. I put my pen away, I don't like to lose it. That's my special pen. It was John Boy's father's pen that he had for many years, and poor John Boy's dad has passed away some time ago now, but he wanted me to have this pen because he knows I love nice pens. I have to have a thick pen. Someone will know what I'm talking about, because if it's a very thin pen to hold and you're writing for any length of time, I get terrible arthritis pains, cramp in my hand. So a thick pen keeps your fingers open a bit more and I don't get the pain so much. In case anyone has that problem, you might not have thought of that. Anyway, I digress, which it's not even like me to digress. So we're going to start with the flooring, and I'll show you here. It comes in sheets with tissue in between, like so, and it's a lovely colour beach flooring, and it's on a plastic strip. Excuse me, a plastic strip. So what you can do if you want, it just looks like floorboards. Well, they are miniature floorboards with the different breaks in them. So you can just lay them like that, just cut the room to size, peel off the backing, offer it up to the flooring and lay it flat. A 15-minute job, I would say. But no, no, not in this house. It's not a 15-minute job. In this house, I'm going to peel each one off separately and relay them side by side, leaving tiny gaps, just a ½ millimetre, if that, tiny gaps between the floorboards, so they look slightly, well, they look more like realistic floorboards in a real house. And then after I've laid them all, where all the joins are at the ends of each plank, I'm going to make two little indentations on every single plank, so it looks like the screw holes or the nail holes holding the flooring down. So it's a big job. It's going to take a while. Not on this video, obviously. The power of editing is a grand thing. It's very handy, in fact. So as is. So what I'm doing with the kitchen flooring, I've got the some shorter lengths here. I just cut another sheet of wood that was all one length. It's the same length as the one that I showed you, but you just cut a certain height up or a certain distance along, so you've got longer ones and shorter ones, and then you're laying them alternately. So we've got the shorter one there, and then it's a longer one to the front of the kitchen, and then a short one next to it, and the longer one at the back, and then I'll do the opposite all the way along. And I don't know if you can, well, you'll be able to see better when I've put more flooring down, but there's a tiny gap between the flooring, or you can just see it there, which isn't what you get when you just see it in one lump. It makes it looks more like one piece of flooring, unless you really catch the light right to see the actual floorboards. So it's a bigger job, but it's worth doing. I would do it if it was a house for me. Right, okay, so that's all the floorboards down. I like how they're all such different shades, different colours, although they all are off the same strip. But when you break them up and then juxtaposition them between each other or next to each other, then you get lots of different variations, which is lovely, just like an old house would have. I did look at images again, just out of interest to see real rooms with floorboards, and I did note that some of them, the rooms had, every now and again, they had a one solid plank going right down the length of the room. So I've just spaced them out, but I've put 4 here, not equal spaces, but I've put 4 whole planks in, and then the rest of them are alternated, just to break it all up and give it more interest. Now, if I can show you, hopefully you can see on the camera, I've just started putting the little nail marks in each of the ends of the wood. I just thought I'd show you. Now, if I'm holding the camera with my right hand and trying to do the job with my left, or if I'll come up here, you can see this one. I'm using an awl, A-W-L, awl, I don't know what. Who knows, who cares? So I'm using one of these, but I know through experience of doing the Art Deco house in the hallway, I laid some of this floor in. I can't remember if it's this colour or not, but I just pushed this down quite hard on them, and one of them just split a tiny bit from there to the edge. And when you let go, you couldn't really notice it. But if you just want to make sure you're being really very careful, then what I do, if I can do this, let's put it on there, just place that on, and then I just press slightly, not hard but just slightly, and do that in a circle, and you can, hopefully you'll be able to see the marks come in there. And you do it by eye, because the nails would be put in by eye, but just really going around in circles rather than just pushing straight down, and then it won't split the wood. It will just wear a hole in the wood without it actually breaking. Okay, folks. Now, we're going straight into the mammoth task of building the fitted kitchen for the kitchen. Excuse me. Let me just move these pieces of wood. As I said, there are hundreds of pieces of wood altogether to make these units, so I'm just going to concentrate on one unit at a time, build it, and then eventually they'll all be put together. I just want to show you here just quickly, I've made the jig that I used, just has the bit of wood across the back. I've now since then fitted a block of wood down the side as well, and that gives me an L shape. Before it was just straight along, but now I can fit things when I want right angles to put them together. So I'm just actually doing one of the doors at the front, the shaker style door with the pieces of wood around the edge. Okay, now with this, the doors, they've got the little panels around the outside. I've put glue all around the outside of the rectangle, and then I'm just putting these against it and fitting it all in nice and square. So I'll put those in and then push them all in nice and firmly, and then okay, I've been very neat putting the glue on, but there is tiny bits showing, and I know the usual, or most of us online do say that you can use a cocktail stick to scrape the extra paint off, which is what I do use. But what I have found is when you take the cocktail sticks, and they're pointed at the end, you often scrape the glue, and if there's a decent amount of glue, it just sort of rubs a line through it, and you've got to go over it several times, rub it on your finger or piece of paper to get rid of it. But if you just simply chop off the little pointed end of the chopstick of the toothpick, just the little end, so it just bluntens it on the edge there as it's narrowing. And then, sorry my hands are in the way because I'm left-handed and the camera is also on my left, but when you rub the cocktail stick along, it sort of picks it all up more or less in one go, so you don't have to. No, I'm just making one of the base units at the moment, but in the corner there where there's the glue, I'll show you again with the bit taken off the end of the cocktail stick. It just picks it up in bigger sections, so you don't have to. If you use the pointed end and scrape it, it sometimes just draws a line through the glue and it doesn't pick it up so easily. So that works a lot better. And also, this is the base that I'm making. I'll just show you. Take that tiny bit of glue off there. Just along the front edge of the bottom of the unit, I've just put some masking tape along, about 3/16 of an inch in, just straight along, and painted the unit there, sanded it and painted it again. Like I say, they will take a long time to create, but they'll be worth it when they're done. Because that bit's going to stick out, the door will sit on there, so you'll see wood at the bottom, so you just don't want that showing bare wood. So when the door's painted, the whole thing will just look a nice colour. Right, I will carry on with those and then show you as we go along. Right, now, so the doors, I've put the doors together. They've got the wood going round, two short ones across the top and long ones at the sides. And I'm just rounding off one of the sides of the doors. And for that, you just use a fine sandpaper. I'm using a 180 there, seems to do the job very well. And then just slide the wood at a sort of 45-degree angle and then lift it up as you bring it towards you. Well, I'm doing it to the side, but normally I would do it like so. I'm just doing this for the camera. So just a few times, turn it round. And you can see, if I can show you, hopefully you can see the profile of it there. It's just rounding it off instead of being square at the edge there. And that way, when you put the hinges on, the door has enough room, just the corners taken away, so the door opens and closes easier. So that's all that needs, just a little bit. Then, before I attach the door, I've made the first little unit. Here we are. It's a little base unit, and also I've put tape along the front edge of the base there and painted that. So when the door is in and it's closed, that looks the same colour as well. And that's the top bit that will go on at the end, and I've painted green along there. I might be finishing off that differently at the end. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided or read what I'm doing with it, but we can do the doors and fit them. Now, okay, so I've decided which side I want the hinged door on, where I want the hinges, and you just where the cabinets are placed in the kitchen is which way you think you want the doors to open. Some of them, if they're next to other units or on corners, they have to open in a certain on a certain side. So you just work that out as you go along. So I'm having the hinges on this side as you look at the cabinet. So this is the rounded sanded piece. So what I'm going to do now is make the holes for the hinges, and I'm using little brass pins, just tiny little brass pins. You probably can't see it, but there we are. They do have a head on, but I will cut the head off in a minute. So I get the brass pin, and then where the rounded side is of the cabinet, I'm just going to put it in the centre and just hold it tight, and with a sharp end there, just make a little hole. Sorry, my hands are in the way, that's why I'm sort of talking through what I'm doing. So if you can't see me exactly, at least you can understand what I'm saying, hopefully. And when you push it in, just ease it in slowly and keep the pin straight in line with the wood. Don't bend it up or down. otherwise it will come out the front or the back. So just keep it going straight in and push it in quite a way. So there's about 1/8 of an inch left at the end there, and then you can pull that out again and then get hold of the pin, get your other wire cutters and cut the end off the pin. Just snip that off, and then I want to turn the pin around the other way, so I've now got the blunt end. Well, I've just cut the head off and put that back, slide that back into the hole that you've made with the pointed side. There we are. So we've now got the point of the brass pin sticking up. So there's about 1/8 of an inch sticking up there. That's fine. And then get another pin and do the same with the other side. So I'll get this done, and then you can see how it looks. Here we are. Okay, so I haven't had to measure in and across and get an exact measurement. I've just gone by eye, and I've just done it in the middle of the wood and slightly in from the end there, not too close to the edge. So it's just you just get to know by eye whereabouts you want the pin placed. But that's where the hinges are, so you can now make the holes in the unit itself. So that's the base of the unit. So I'm going to lay that down against my jig there. So I've got I've got it in the corner, so I can push it that way if I want to. And then, as I know, the hinges are going on this side. So what I'm going to do next is cut a piece of card, fairly sturdy card, not too thick, and I've just cut it a little bit narrower than the width of the door, but wider than the unit. And all I'm going to do is place the card on the top of the unit there, like that, but not right down to the base. I'm just going to leave a gap there so I can see, just a little gap there so I can see the base of the unit. So lay that down, make sure the card is wider than the unit so it sits on it, and then place like so, and then get your door, and where the hinges are, line it up, the width of the door, so you can see the base of the unit there. So line it up with the base of the unit. I'll just have to do this carefully. So it's in line, so I can see the door is flush with the edge of the unit there. And then I'm going to do this with 2 hands, but all I'm going to do is evenly just push the door down a little bit and just push that pin into the base of the unit. And like I say, if you've got it in a jig, then everything you can hold in place. And the piece of card, I'll just push this in, make sure it's right, in line. That's it. Push that in, so if I hold that up, you can see that I've pushed the base of the pin down into the base of the unit, but the door is lined up with the width of the unit there, and the card is still in it. The card just gives you a tiny gap, so if it's flush right up to the base, right up to the unit, very often the doors will squeak and they won't spin on the pivot there where you've sanded it. And just leaving a tiny gap like that, the doors open and close a lot easier. So once I've done that, I can leave the card in place because the unit's now all lined up. And then all I'm going to do actually is not the door obviously, but I'm just going to put glue on the sides here. Let me pause the camera a minute and get some glue out. And all I'm doing is just using the end of the cocktail stick and just dabbing a fine line of glue on the 3 sides of the top of the unit. Like so, just around the 3 sides, not across the door. Obviously we don't want to glue the door shut, we want a working door. So lay your unit back down, and the unit top is flush with the edge of the unit anyway, so you can push it right against your block there. And then I'm just going to lay this in place and then offer up the top of the unit to the pin where the pin is, and then just carefully push the pin, sharp end of the pin, into the worktop like so. The pin's this side, so I've now pushed that in and closed it. So what I'll do now is that's nice and flush. What I'll do now is just put a weight on that just to dry that off, and then we'll take the card out and show you how it's opening. Okay, so once you've put some weight on that to get it dry, then just slip the card out, then hopefully, yay, doors open. There we are. So just do that with each one, but I would always use the bit of card there and round one edge of the wood. When you do round the edge of the wood, don't go mad with it and sand it right up to the don't bring it right up like that too many times. Try and keep it slightly at an angle like that, and then the other way. If you rub the actual width of the door, then it makes it too short for the unit. So you don't want to actually shorten the width of the door. You just want to round at the corners. So the very edge of the end of the door there, or the width of the door, you should really try and not sand that to make it any shorter, if you understand what I mean. I'm not always very good at explaining myself, I don't think. But anyway, I'm doing another one there and just letting that dry, and then I'll continue with the units as well. Okay. Okay, now at the moment I'm just doing the fridge freezer housing, so this will be the fridge freezer will stand in there. There's a door at the top there. It doesn't have a handle on yet, but it's lying very flush to the outside, but it does actually open. I just can't get it open with my nail there, and I don't want to damage it. But I'm just gluing the sides of the housing on. I do them one side at a time, and when it's dry I'll do the other side, which I'm doing now. All I'm doing is putting these brackets on, and then just put an elastic band around them. I can get that in there, tie that round and clip that on, and I'll put another one on if I have it. Yes, I do, just to pull them in really nice and firm without obviously breaking the unit. I've got them very close together there, but that's okay. There we are. Pull that round, clip that in. There we are. So that's just holding those sides nice and flat, and it's completely flush with the top there. The sides aren't, and completely flush with the back, and it's come completely flush to the front. So it's a very nice kit and a nice feel to it. So after that's dry, then I shall paint. I've painted the insides of the housing. You don't have to, because you'll be filling that with a fridge freezer, which will come to the front. But it just means if there's any gaps at all showing between the fridge and the housing, then you'll still see the green paintwork. And then once those two bits are dry, which will be about quarter of an hour, I've just put this one on, but it will take about quarter of an hour to dry. It's very warm in the workshop today, and I have the doors open. But this will then just slot in there for the rest of the housing, and then I'll put clamps down at the bottom there, and that will hold that in nice and flush and finish it off. Whoops. And if I just leave that lying on its back just for a moment, I've made some of the other, these are the 2-inch size base units, so they're all most of those are done at the moment. It's got a nice satin sheen on the paint. You can just see it there. It's a lovely paint that I'm using. And this is the, I haven't put the taps and things, they go on the worktop, but there's the kitchen sink unit with the butler sink, and then there's a narrow door underneath. And I've done some one or two narrow units, just the smaller ones, and a wine rack so far. So that's all just slotted wood with slots cut in it, pieces of wood with slots, and you just put them in, you know, like that, both sides. And then there's a trim at the front there, ready for 16 bottles of wine or champagne or bottles of water, depending if you're non-alcoholic. You can put what you want in there when it's your kitchen. I'm sure if we had one of those at home, it would be empty all the time, because John Boy and myself never seem to keep a bottle of wine more than an hour or so after purchasing. Not that with alcoholics at all. God, I couldn't do all this kind of work if drink was involved. No, which reminds me, my mug is empty, so I need to go and get another cup of tea. Oh, you enjoying that, Midge? Hotel has found a space in the box and decided to use it. Hey, lovely boy. Okay, folks, I have stopped at this point of the video just for a minute because this morning a package came through the door, and I know because it's written on here. It's from Deborah. Hi, Deborah. I'm sure you are watching. Deborah from Massachusetts. I've even looked up your town where you are in this planet or on this planet. Wish I was there. The town looks really nice. Anyway, Deborah, I know you were sending some clothing, so I look like I need some new clothing. I don't wear these clothes when I go out, it's only for work. But yes, I have been sent some clothing. How exciting! All the way from Massachusetts. Oh, wonderful. Let's open it up and see what we have. Hang on, I shall use this to go across here to open up this bit. That makes it easier. You off, Nige, and we have a t-shirt. I can tell it's a black t-shirt. Oh, I do love a t-shirt, especially now as the summer is coming on. Right, let's open. I can't see. Who knows? Who cares? Oh my God, I can't see. I've got to... I've got to pause the video. Calm down and show John. I just thought I'd calm down enough to put the video back on, and then it's starting to make me laugh again. I just realised in the packaging I was just about to throw away, and there's a card. I showed John Boy. I think he's coming to bring a cup of tea. He thinks I need it. So, oh, look, that's beautiful. Look, I'm saying no one can see it. Look. How beautiful the way it's made. Absolutely beautiful. Flaunt cards, all handmade from Vancouver, Canada. I love all these foreign things that aren't just from the UK.
Jar.
Here's John Boy. Look, I've got a little card as well. It's lovely.
Hello everyone. Hope you're all right.
Who knows?
It's a very nice t-shirt.
Yes, that's from Deborah.
Hello Deborah. Thank you very much.
From
for that.
Massachusetts.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Yeah, wonderful.
Oh, brilliant.
I'll always be a Jersey girl. Hi Richard. I really hope you enjoy wearing the t-shirt. Your friend from Jersey, Debbie. And Sunshine. Sunshine's the cat.
Oh, hello Sunshine.
Even though she's moved, yeah, in Massachusetts. Okay. But she's a Jersey girl.
Oh, it's lovely. Thank you very much.
The working grandfather clock. Oh, bless you. She's going to send something else. Oh, bless. That's lovely.
It is. It's pretty.
And this is fabulous.
It is. Very nice. Nice colours.
Yeah. I'm not going to wear it right now while I'm working because I know it's going to get grubby. I want to wear it for when we go out. So I will, because I get very dirty and very covered in paint and glue everywhere, and it will just ruin it. And it's too good to ruin. So I just wanted you guys to see it. Fantastic. And I shall go and get changed and carry on work. Every minute counts. Speak again in a minute when I've done some more of these kitchen cabinets. Now, after making the base units, this is a corner unit that's been made. Lovely little wooden handles. So another unit comes out here. I'm now putting the plinths on the back. So I'm just laying them in here quickly. And these are the little plinths to hold the units up off the floor. And I'm just applying a little bit of glue. And I'm laying them on here to put them on so that the back of the plinth is in line with the back of the unit. So it's as far back as possible and doesn't come to the front of the unit. And the second one, I'll put 2 on each unit. And that holds them all at the same height from the floor, like so. I'm not going to bother trying to clean the glue away. That glue will just add to strength, just to hold it along the edges there. When it's on the floor you won't see it. So, and I'll put them upright, although they're not very heavy, but they're still just the weight of the unit on the plinth while it dries. And then one more, I'll just do one more on camera and then carry on off camera. Just get them nice and straight. If I'm using the block here, so I can do it by eye as well. I can hear a bird in the background. And I can hear the clock when it's all peaceful. And I'm concentrating. Oops. There we are. It's the same idea again. There. And I'll just carry on and do, you can see there, do all of the units. I've got the dishwasher, washing machine and the Aga all ready to put into place as well. So I shall carry on and then show you what this looks like. Okay, the box hasn't got all the units in. They're all up at one end now, but Georgie has found the space at the end of the box, so he's all curled up asleep at the moment. Right, now at the moment these are the worktops. No, lovely rosewood, so they've got that lovely sort of reddy brown colour. Really lovely wood. What I'm going to do is wax it just to give it some depth, and then we can buff it up and it will make it sealed. It will be really nice, and it will just have a really rich look on it. So I'm just going to take a bit of the wax that I use, it's just a clear wax, on a bit of tissue paper to start with, and just rub it fairly firm and in little sweeping circles, like so. I find sometimes if you don't leave it long enough and then buff it up, it just doesn't look as good, or it doesn't give a richer look. So I'm going to leave this until tomorrow and just let it cure before I buff it up, which is annoying when you're miniaturing, as you all know, when you're working on something, and then the next stage you have to wait either for paint to dry or wax to cure. You just want to get on with it. But I've got plenty of other things to do on this project, so I won't actually be sitting and waiting. Right, if I hold up what it looked like and then what it's like with the wax, you can see it's actually lovely. It just brings out all the colour and the richness in it. Absolutely lovely. So I shall carry on waxing. Just lay that down and then rub it in. And you can leave it and then buff it up, and you can do, if this was full size furniture with the wax, then you would leave it overnight, 24 hours, and then you would buff it up with a soft cloth, and then you could put another layer on it, leave it, buff it up, and you can do at least up to 3 layers. Once you've done that, this clear wax, it actually makes the work surfaces or the furniture waterproof. So it could be used for real wood kitchen worktops. And after 3 coats, you can actually wipe the worktops down when you spill things on them, because it does really seal them. But I'll have a look at this. The look of it, if I did 3 coats, wouldn't look much different on this wood, and it won't actually have water being thrown about all over it. I know my customer well enough at the moment, and I know she wouldn't start washing up in the sink. She's probably got a full-size one in the house that she can use. I'm sure she has. There. Okay, and then there's the bit with the sink, the butler sink section cut out, so you can see again the difference in the wood. So I'll carry on doing those bits. I've done 1 piece there, so there's 4 pieces altogether. So I'll carry on, I'll do this, and then I will get on with something else. But at least it's got this ready with a coat of wax, and it will just dry overnight. Well, it won't perfectly dry, but it will cure. Right, okay, so this is the corner unit here. So another unit comes out here, so this is in the corner of the room, and the worktop just goes over the edge a little bit, because these don't fit exactly. The room is slightly wider, so you just make the worktop slightly longer, so when it's all closed in you won't know any difference. And I'm just finishing off the trim at the edge of the wood there. So I've marked it along where I want to cut it. I can use a scalpel or the X-Acto knife just to cut this. Rocking motion, that clips it, and then we'll actually apply a tiny bit of glue along on the worktop, it's on the front of the unit instead of the piece of wood. Just carefully apply it nicely and neatly. As you can tell, when you're doing things like applying glue, you usually don't talk, don't breathe, and then everything works out fine. Right, let's make sure I've got glue long enough there. I can put a little bit more on. I don't have to go right to the end there because this will all be closed in when I'm finished. I'll just lay that down on its back and lay this on. It should just fit in like so. And then I shall take a toothpick and just scrape that glue off. Before any of it dries. Like so. There we are. So that just finishes off the edge of the unit there. This bit here will go next to the Aga, and that will buff up there, so that will all be, and I've painted the colour down the front there, same as the units, so that will all go in place there. So it's I think the floor level units are more or less ready. So I'll stick another bit on this side here, and then we'll start and then we'll glue these in place, and we'll see how that's looking. And I'll finish the floor level off, and then just show you it finished before we finish the video. And then I'll go, and then on the next video I'll do put all the wall units on by then. Right. Okay folks, so that's the lower part of the kitchen fitted. I've almost finished the wall cupboards all around. It'll be a couple of 2 or 3 days and I should have those fitted, completed and fitted. So I shall put those on to the next video, but I just wanted to finish this one by showing you the finished downstairs part, as it were. I'll take this out of the way. This is the only bit that's not glued, because you glue the wall cabinets to the side of it when you fit it all in one. So I'll just take that out for now. I'll come in here and just show you. There's the wine cabinet in there. It'd be lovely to see that with bottles in. Can't wait. And there's different cupboards there. There's different drawers, different size cupboards in the corner. And there's the sink, the butler's sink, or the Belfast sink. It's got very nice taps, and I'll show you it's plugged in at the moment, ready for doing the dishes. that does come out. Hang on, let me get some tweezers if I can get in there. Oops. There, it's got a little plug on the end. So that's that. And then, as I say, the wall units will be glued on this side of the wall to the side of this, outside the room and then glued to the wall. So, hurrah! I'm very, 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 very pleased with it so far. I hope you guys like it too. Do let me know. Okay, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this video, watching the fitting of the kitchen. I'm enjoying it immensely, although I am taking forever doing it, because it has to be right. But that's me, you know me by now. So yes, I want to thank you all for watching this part. In the next part of this Dollhouse series, the commission that I'm doing, I will be putting the upper wall units in the kitchen, and then you'll be able to see the whole thing, and I'll do the lighting and get that room completely finished before we move on to the rest of the house. So it's coming together really well. I've nearly finished more or less the wall units, so it'll only be a few days hopefully, and I'll be able to put the video on for that so you can see it complete. But do let me know what you think of it so far, please. I would love to know what you think. And also, I have just found out, you'd think doing YouTube for all this time I would know these things, but when some of you guys, I'm very grateful for you doing, but when you click the like button on the video, the thumbs up, and make a comment, different things like that, and if anyone hasn't subscribed, if you do subscribe, that's even better, and it will help my videos to build, and I'll keep doing them in that case. But I've also realised watching videos myself that you can actually click on a button to share that video, and then when you click on that, it gives you the option to Facebook it or Twitter it or whatever it is, the rest of the social media. So if any of you could try just clicking on the share and then share it to your community, or your Instagram, or whoever you're with, your social community, I would be extremely grateful, because that would help spread the word even more. So that would be lovely. If you have done that, maybe you could let me know, just so I know someone has actually shared my videos. That would be wonderful to know. Anyway, thank you. I won't take up any more of your time. It's getting dark now. It's quite late. I'm looking up at the time. It's well past tea time. So I will finish for tonight and be back. Well, I'll be back in here tomorrow morning. What else would I be doing? Who knows? Who cares? Speak to you again soon. Miss you already. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.